Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. Before I get started on my next My High School Dayz discussion video, vlog, whatever, which is today going to cover the next 3 years. Today's going to begin the next 3 year journey, which I'm not going to obviously do in over 3 year period. And the today's video is going to be titled "Discussing My 10th Grade High School Orientation," and that's the only orientation I'm ever going to discuss for this next portion because I end up going to the same high school 10th grade, 11th grade, then of course my high school graduating year, 12th grade, and that's the same high school, of course, I graduate from with a GPA 3.0. So there really is no need for me to discuss the other 2 years that I go to that high school for, like the same high orientation, because as I have to attend a high school orientation, every single year. That's just normal. But the one I really want you guys to hear is the one I'm going to talk about today. But first, I want you guys to first of all know that today was not, unfortunately, the greatest day. So I woke up with a migraine, and that was about 9 in the morning. I was still kind of tired, but I was still wide awake, and I went downstairs and I took some Excedrin. Sorry, no, it was Excedrin. I'm sorry. And I started drinking water, and the more I drank, the worse it got. And I was like, I have to go back to bed. So I ended up going back to bed. My dad asked me later if I was going to church, and I wanted to go so badly, but my headache was just pounding so hard, migraine, whatever. Well, I finally woke up about 11:30, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it at this point, and I already missed too much of it to watch it online, so I figured I'll just watch it later tonight. So I decided to slowly but surely get ready. I was planning going to Gospel to Every Home, but I'll get to that later. So I got invited to hang out with a friend or two friends this afternoon, but unfortunately, they wanted to go do something else first, and I only had so much time, and I really needed to eat first, and I knew that had to be my top priority. Hold on. And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I had to go eat something, and as much as it sounded like fun to go and do this other thing, it's like I have to eat first. So I was trying to get this person to maybe change up what they needed to do first, but it sounded like they had their heart set on getting that thing done, and I was kind of disappointed about that because I haven't hung out with this person almost 2 months. But I was like, oh, all right, I understand for the most part. But anyway, um, so my brother, thank God for him, to be honest, he and I went and ate out. Well, I've been very indecisive today. It's just been one of those days. And I had originally talked about going to Red Robin or Olive Garden, and then I couldn't even remember how to get to the Olive Garden, as sad as that is. I guess I was just not awake at the time. And as we're driving out there, I'm like, how do I even get to Olive Garden? He was like, really? So he pulled up, and then I suddenly remembered how to get there. And then I remembered what was over there. I was like, oh, yeah, there's also Smoky Bones. I'd rather do that. And I'm like, yeah, I think I hinted to you I'd rather do barbecue, because I started naming all these barbecue places. So that's where we end up going. We end up going to Smoky Bones. And then we got back, and I started talking to Caitlin. I'm also very thankful for her today, because she's been there for me today. She was actually supposed to take my college graduation pictures tonight, but unfortunately she hasn't been feeling the greatest today, so I decided to let her stay home and get some rest because that's what is best for her. So yeah, it's just been a very quiet day, but at the same time I haven't been feeling 100% the greatest either. I think I accidentally overworked myself, but I'm stressed to the max right now about saving up for an apartment. Last week I went out apartment hunting again, and I think I found an apartment not too far away from my parents, and it's been by far the nicest one I've seen. So, Lord willing, my brother will get to go see the apartment for himself sometime next month, but we'll see. In the meantime, I would like to talk to you guys about my high school orientation. So, when I went to this high school orientation, which my parents and my brother went, uh, we went out there and they were doing an ice cream social on it in the lunchroom, so it gave me the chance to get to slightly know the school and see what it was like. It was built in an old church that is actually being used as a new church now, and they also gave me the chance to kind of meet all the teachers. So I started walking around, getting to know all the teachers. I think there was a point when during that evening when I accidentally made a comment to the English teacher that my parents didn't seem to overly care for, but the teacher found it amusing. I don't remember exactly what my comment was, and I mean, I personally really liked it. I was surprised how above and beyond they went for the ice cream social. Usually, most school ice cream socials, they just get these like little cups of ice cream, but these guys actually went above and beyond, and they got like big tubs of ice cream, and they put them out on the tables, and people just could go serve themselves ice cream whenever they wanted. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Other high school orientations I went to at that school, just for the fun of it, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys. They all took place down in the high school basement, which is where all my classes were taken, other than this one English class I took in my senior year, and that took place upstairs. But the nice thing about having all your classes in a basement, at least if in the event of a tornado, which we actually did have one time, we at least had a safe place to hide, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, there were the majority of my well, let me start over. So my last two high school orientations did take place in the basement. We would just go from one classroom to the next, and the teachers would explain basically what was expected, what their classroom procedures were, who they were, and going over their textbooks. I don't remember if I necessarily did that on my very first year or not. My family might remember better than me. I only remember 11th and 12th grade being like that. The only thing I sadly remember about my very first high school orientation was the ice cream. Just goes to show I think about my stomach a lot. But I do remember the 11th and 12th grade orientations in the sense that I remember bumping into former classmates or current classmates like, oh yeah, it's good to see you again, blah blah blah, and all that. But yeah, the very first one, I of course didn't recognize anybody because I was brand new to that school. But of course, 11th and 12th grade, I started recognizing people, especially by 12th grade. I was pretty well known around the school. But you'll learn more about how I grew, not just as a person, but as a Christian in that school, and kind of how that school helped me to become who I am today. And I remember I was excited. I felt like I could be more myself just at my high school orientation, but at the same time, it was probably only because I was with my parents and my brother at the time. Little did I realize, as soon as I started showing up by myself, everything was going to change, and then I was going to kind of forget who I was, and like, okay, I don't remember, like, how to be myself, and that was a very big problem for me a lot of my lifetime. I didn't really know how to be myself without some sort of familiarity with me. But over time, I've gotten a lot better about that. I can still be myself without necessarily somebody I know being there with me, but it still helps. But at the same time, I just knew from that very first high school orientation that I finally found the place that I really wanted to be at. And I remember just the fact that everybody just really cared at that school. I mean, of course, I discovered over time that they really cared about me, and they were really looking to, or just, well, really looking forward to not just helping me, but working with me and helping me succeed in life. One thing that really stuck out to me a lot in that school, even though this was later on down the road, but I'll just go ahead and throw that out there, or this out there now. I really wanted to dual enroll while I was in that high school, and my principal said no. And she knew before I even did that I was not going to be capable of dual enrolling. She knew that my mind just could not comprehend it, and I'm kind of glad that she, if not really happy, that she didn't allow me to dual enroll. Instead, she had me do Florida virtual school from 11th to 12th grade instead. And that actually helped me immensely, and that's actually what also helped me to getting my driver's license and getting behind the wheel and skipping the 3 to 4 hour drug and alcohol class. So sometimes we may think we know what's best for us, but sometimes there's always somebody else who knows what's better for you at the end of the day, so I figured I would share that. But anyways, that was just the very first video. There's still a lot more to talk about, such as my very first day of high school, as well as how I got into Skillet, which I kind of already talked about that another time. I also would like to talk to you guys about the very first Christian concert that I ever attended, which I believe was at that school, and just kind of the story behind that. So hopefully you guys will get to check out my future videos. And until then, I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.